if you means that do it. Burger
Welcome to Airchecks. I'm your host, Ty Rosenau. For Hour 3, we're going to talk about SWOTS. SWOTS was a 2009 BBC comedy radio panel show hosted by Miles Jupp. First broadcast on BBC Radio Scotland, it has been repeated on BBC Radio 7. The show is set in a fictional 1960s classroom and it involves a series of comedy rounds based loosely on typical classroom activities such as spelling and mathematics. The British Comedy Guide considers it a very patchy, bizarre series. Some is rather funny. Everyone on the panel is clearly having fun, and Jeff delivers some good scripted gags. So here we go with SWOTS on Airchecks.
Hello, I'm Miles Jupp, and welcome to SWOTS, the new comedy quiz show that drags 4 celebrities back in time to a senior secondary school circa 1960 and teaches them a lesson they'll never forget. That's right, we've come back to the good old days when a proper education was based on the 3 R's: reading, writing, and a ruddy good hiding. Right, thanks. Let's take the register. Raymond Mearns.
Present, sir.
Raymond is a professional comedian, well done you, which means he's used to standing in the corner while the whole room laughs at him. Our next celebrity student is Barbara Rafferty.
Present, sir.
Barbara is a very well-known actress, appearing on shows like the ubiquitous River City and that classic morality tale, Rabsy Nesbitt. Next up is John Mackay.
Present, sir.
John is a man whose nether regions are usually well hidden behind a desk while he reads STV's news at 6. Tonight we discover why he keeps his down-belows a secret when we force him into a pair of short trousers. Our final student is actress Elaine Mackenzie Ellis.
Present, sir.
Elaine is also a writer and comedian whose reputation precedes her, at least if the graffiti in the boys' toilets is to be believed. Nothing like surrounding oneself with the creme de la creme of Scottish showbiz, I hear. Meanwhile, helping me steer you through the muddy waters of ignorance to the sandy shores of mediocrity is our delightful school secretary, Miss Susan Morrison.
Headmaster.
I must say, Miss Morrison, it's great to have your steady hand on my rudder once again.
Well, it is the 60s and I do have a ticket to ride, Headmaster. But unfortunately, I can't get no satisfaction.
Yes, well, moving on. Good behaviour will be rewarded with a gold star, adding an extra point onto your score. However, any cheeky monkeyness will be punished with a detention, meaning you'll lose a point, as well as what's left of your dignity. Report cards will be handed out at the end of the class, so sit up straight, put away your beanos, your bunties, your razzles, and pay attention. It's time for round 1 of SWOTS.
Round 1. Spelling.
Miss Morrison will give you a word, and if you spell that word correctly, you'll score a point, and hear this sound. Give a wrong answer, and you'll hear this one.
Ow!
Miss Morrison, could we have the first word, please?
Certainly, Headmaster. And the first word is to you, Mearns, and it's discombobulate.
Discumbobulate.
D-I-S-C-O-M-B-O-B-U-L-A-T-E. The next word is to you Rafferty, and it's pernickety.
P-E-R-N-I-C-K-I-T-Y.
Oh.
Ow!
P-E-R-N-I-C-K-E-T-Y. Next word is to you, Mackay, and it's mastication.
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 M-A-S-T-I-C-A-T-I-O-N.
Well done. The next word is to you, Ellis, and it's assiduous.
A-S-S-I-D-I-O-U-S. Ow!
Stupid girl. It's A-S-S-I-D-U-O-U-S. Now, back to you, Mearns. And it's embarrass.
E-M-B-A-R-A-S-S.
Oh. E-M-B-A-R-R-A-S-S. Your graffiti is much better spelled. The next word is to you, Rafferty, and it's silhouette.
S-I-L-H-O-U-E-T-T-E.
To you, Mackay. Irresistible. Irresistible.
Irresistible. I-R-R-I-S.
Hopes crushed again. I-R-R-E-S-I-S-T-I-B-L-E. The next word is to you, Ellis. Facetious.
F.
Good.
A.
I have to hurry.
E. A.
Wasn't really worth the wait there. F-A-C-E-T-I-O-U-S. And back to you again, Mearns.
Oh, thank
Well, as our creepy Janny throws sawdust over the mess made in round one, I'm going to show off my chilled-out, groovy side and fake an interest in one of our students. Mearns, you're a comedian. How can you tell when an audience is laughing with you and not at you?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, I mean, you're very amusing, certainly to look at. What have you been up to recently, Mearns?
I'm just gigging away and irons in the fire. Can't he talk about it right now? Obviously, because I've not been up in court yet.
Very good. Now sit down, Mearns.
Round 2. Science.
It's a quick-fire multiple-choice round, so you might want to wait for the whole question before buzzing in with your answer. Question 1. Which is the smallest? A, atom, B, quark, C, proton?
Mearns.
A quark.
You are correct. It's indeed the noise that a posh duck makes. Quark. Which radiation is most penetrating? A, alpha, B, beta, C, gamma?
Mackay.
Gamma.
Correct. He's annoyingly good.
He's very smug, Headmaster.
It's detention, in fact. Yeah.
With me later.
In human anatomy, what acts as a shock absorber in our joints? A, cartilage, B, ligaments, C, fat?
Mearns.
Cartilage.
Correct. The standard human body has how many chromosomes? A, 46, B, 22, C, 42?
Mackenzie Ellis.
42.
That is wrong, I'm afraid.
Rafferty.
46.
Correct. A star is a massive luminous ball of plasma that is held together by A, carbon, B, gravity, C, superglue.
Mackay.
Gravity, sir.
Correct.
I don't like his tone, Headmaster.
A little obsequious.
Can't spell that either.
Time out.
Aha, Miss M, bring out your blackboard and let us take a gawk at the chalk.
As you can see on my blackboard, Headmaster, Mackenzie Ellis, was there any point in you getting out of bed this morning? There are no points, I am afraid. Ms. Rafferty, beautifully turned out as ever, but only 2 points there. Mr. Mearns can't spell, but came up fast on science, and he has 4 points. But it won't surprise anyone to know that leading the pack so far, of course, we have Mr. Mackay. It could all change, sir, with gold stars and detentions. Someone will have to join me later after school.
A short straw there. Well, Barbara, 2 points. Luckily, it's 1965. Teachers don't get paid by results. What do you suppose Rab C. Nesbitt would say about your performance so far? Something like perhaps... I can do them all.
I don't know what you'd say, because he's not a real person.
That is...
Gold star, Headmaster.
Gold star for being clever. Well, Rafferty, if a little knowledge is a dangerous thing, you're a lethal weapon.
Round 3. Performance homework.
That's right, it's homework time. Our 4 students have been asked to prepare a short performance piece to showcase their hidden talents in front of the class. Ms. Morrison, please bring out our first student.
I'll just unshackle Mearns. To the front of the class now. What have you got for us today?
It's a song from a film I made.
A film.
This actor I played wrote Reservoir Dogs the musical, based upon the bit where the guy gets his ears chopped off and doused in petrol. It's nice, it's nice. Am I allowed to start, Headmaster?
Yes.
Are you gonna bark, wee dog, or are you gonna bite? You may not know it yet, my son, you're out of luck tonight. I'm the psycho from Reservoir Dogs. I'll cut your ears and put your heat down the bogs. Life with my razor is smashing. I'm only happy when I'm slashing. I will leave you bleeding in considerable pain, bawling your heat off just like how we wane. I must inform you it's only right, there's gonna be a murder tonight.
Inspired by the film Reservoir Dogs. 4 points, Mearns. I think it's off lucky there. It would have been 5 if it wasn't for the latent, somewhat camp aggression.
Thank you, Headmaster.
Miss Morrison, please bring out the next student.
Next, Ms. Rafferty. So, what talent will you be forcing upon us today, girl?
I am going to read an extract from a little story that I'm writing about a boy who saw God. What happened? What did you see? We were breathless with excitement. Well, he said, I was up the park, when I heard a noise. And there he was. He was all glowing, with long white hair and a long white beard. Did he say anything? No. He just kind of disappeared. Everyone oohed and ahed. But I, however, was not convinced. God was supernatural, surely. Why hadn't God given him a message for us? I was disappointed. I didn't really believe him. When I got home and I got into bed, I looked out at the darkening streets. I prayed that I would see God one day myself. And as I drifted off to sleep, I almost thought that I heard him. A strange low sound and a glowing light. But I couldn't quite make out the message. Too otherworldly, I suppose.
It might surprise those of you listening at home to know that story was accompanied by an obscene mime. Miss Morrison, against my better judgment, line up the next one.
Yes, Headmaster. Mackay, let's see if your performance is a headliner or a flatliner.
Sir, I'm going to do stand-up. What a day I've had, what a day. It's all to do with the credit crunch, same as you're all suffering, I'm sure. Started off, need a bit of money, went to the bank manager for a bank loan. He said, "No," he says, "I've got big issues to deal with." True enough, he did. He sold me one outside Boots later on. So I figured I'll need to get myself a second job. So I said to my wife, I'm going to go to the bowling alley. She says, £10. I said, "It's not permanent." So I'm walking down the street and a dog attacked me. It was a crossbreed, So then I decide, you've got to aspire. You've got to aspire, you know, you've got to set targets. So I went into this showroom of German cars, and this cowboy walked in and he says, howdy. And I figures... So I says, you know, if you want to get a new job and all the rest of it, you need to look the part. So I went to the gym, and I said to them, can you teach me how to do the splits? And they said, well, how flexible are you? I said, can't I do Tuesdays and Thursdays? But my day wasn't getting much better, so I thought, I'll go to the video store, and I said, can you give me Batman Forever? And they said, well, only till tomorrow.
Well, we have seen a new side to you today, Mackay. Mostly a backside, because that was pants. Miss Morrison, quickly, before I come to my senses, please bring out the final student.
Right, Mackenzie Ellis, your moment in the spotlight has arrived. Now, hurry up before we have to put more money in the meter. Move.
I would like to do a classical piece. It's called Eliza's Aria from the Wild Swans.
My goodness. Time to pick on another pupil, Mackay. Tell us all about yourself. Did you always want to be a newsreader, or would you have preferred a proper job?
I always liked putting on makeup, basically. So that was the main attraction, so that's what took me to it.
Do you wake up every morning and think, I can't wait to tell people some news today, sort of like a big womanly gossip? You know?
And also I like the idea of being an anchor, because all the people in the area, they all say I'm a total anchor, and that's great.
Well, Mackay, if intelligence was a disease, I think we'd be able to give you the all clear. Fingers on lips, class. It's time for round 4.
Round 4. Mental maths.
Yes, like a crowbar in a boarding school, this round will separate the men from the boys. So, panic stations, everyone. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go. Mental maths. What is 5 times 6?
Mackenzie Ellis.
30, sir.
Correct. What is the square root of 4?
Mackay.
2.
Correct. How many degrees is a right angle?
Mackay.
90.
Correct. How many 10-gram packs can be filled from 2 kilograms?
Mearns.
400.
Wild guess, sir.
No, anyone else want to buzz in?
Mackay.
200.
Correct. Which fraction is the largest, 7/16 or 3/8?
Mearns.
7/16.
Correct. How many months are in 1 1/4 years?
Mearns.
15.
What is a prime number?
Mearns.
It's a number that can only be divided by itself in 1.
Absolutely correct, yeah. Well, yeah, go on. You do milk it. Some months have 30 days, some months have 31 days. How many have 28 days?
Mackenzie Ellis.
1, sir. All of them!
Yeah, your first answer was...
I didn't really think about it.
I didn't really think about it. That is an excuse you will find will not work well in later life.
Okay.
In court situations, things like that. Well, I wasn't really thinking about it. I mean, it was silly going out with a knife. What is 55 hours expressed as days and hours?
Mearns.
2 days and 9 hours. 7 hours. 2 days, 7 hours.
Well, that is 2 answers you're giving there, isn't
2
it?
days, 7 hours. Sorry, headmaster, forgive me.
Again,
Sorry.
if I can look out at the court scenario, what's the verdict? Guilty or guilty? Not guilty. Guilty! Do you know what I mean? Jenny walks 2.5 miles every day. How many miles does she walk in a week?
Mackay.
17 and a half.
I'm sorry, the answer is 17.5. That's a point to you, Mackay. That's good. What is an integer?
Mearns.
No gas, Scooby.
Right, let me give you a clue. That's a wrong answer that you've just...
Time out.
Right, time to check the scores. Miss Morrison, once again, please pull out your blackboard and let's take a gawk at the chalk.
Rafferty and Mackenzie Ellis, they're 6 points each. Girls, well done. However, we have a joint lead at the moment with Mearns and Mackay competitively vying for the top spot.
Well, class, time, like education, waits for no one, however slow that one is. Speaking of slow, Ellis, is it true that you were fired from the last Willy Wonka movie for accosting an Oompa Loompa while on a chocolate-induced hippie trip?
Yes.
What? Please tell me how that happened.
Well, they tried to stop me getting to the chocolate. But this chocolate was like fresh from the cow. It wasn't, it hadn't been formed, it was still runny.
Chocolate fresh from the cow?
Chocolate
How does
fresh
that,
from the cow.
Is that definitely
It was Willy
chocolate?
Wonka, what can I tell you? And he tried to stop me, and it was his own fault. He asked for it. Governor.
What did you do with the Oompa Loompa?
Well, looking at your score so far, I'm confident you'll soon be head and shoulders above the rest of your class. We're sending you back to primary 1.
Round 5. Chosen subjects.
I know what you're thinking, that's a bit modern, it's a bit crazy, but hey, it's the 60s, man, and that's the kind of far-out, right-on headmaster I am. You dig? Groovy. So, Mearns, what is your chosen area of expertise?
It's the Roswell incident from 1947 where an alleged UFO crashed in the desert 75 miles north of Roswell.
You've got a minute to enlighten us with as many correct answers on your chosen subject of Roswell. Starting now. What was the name of the cowboy who first discovered the debris at the heart of the Roswell incident?
William McBrazel.
Who was the US president at the time of the incident?
Harry Truman.
Which newspaper reported the alleged UFO crash in 1947?
The Roswell Daily Record.
Very good. Hum the next line of this music.
Doo doo.
Very good. What was the first cover story given by the military to explain the materials found at the crash site?
That it was a downed, raw and soned weather balloon.
What do flying saucers usually contain?
Don't know. Pass.
How many flying saucers have been spotted over Bonny Bridge?
Oh, millions.
None. There's no such thing as flying saucers, you daft fool. Finish this sentence. E.T.
Phone home.
I'll just go the ones that you passed. Flying saucers.
And what was in them?
Sherbet. Next up, Rafferty. I take it you'll have chosen something sensible to answer questions on?
Questions on the pantomime.
Very good.
Oh, no, I won't.
Well, what else? You have 1 minute starting now. In the 2000 production of Cinderella at the King's Theatre in Glasgow, you played the wicked stepmother, but who were the ugly sisters?
Ford Kiernan and Greg.
You're wrong, it was Tony Roper and Jonathan Watson.
Oh, so it was. I was thinking of another year. Oh, it was a different year. Sorry.
From which side of the stage does the good fairy character always enter?
The right.
Correct. Oh, yes, he did.
Oh, no, he didn't.
Very good. Sir Ian McKellen famously starred as a dame in which popular pantomime?
I can't remember. It was in London. Somewhere down south, you know.
It was Aladdin. Due to health and safety concerns, what pantomime tradition has been banned at some theatres?
The pyrotechnics.
Is it the Crankies?
The beanstalk.
The correct answer is throwing sweeties into the audience. Where is he?
Over there.
I'm afraid he's behind you. Next up, it's Mackay. What is your specialist subject, John?
I've done a special project for you, sir, called the Real Mackay Video Blog.
Well, I'm glad that didn't sound like a plug. So, John Mackay's specialist subject is John Mackay. Mackay, you have 1 minute to thrill us with as many correct answers on your chosen subject of yourself, starting now. In episode 117, how many BAFTAs had Scotland Today just won?
None.
Correct. Which colour tie looks best on you?
Red.
I'm afraid it's blue. It brings out your eyes. How many times have you slagged off the BBC's Reporting Scotland in your video blog?
400 nod.
That is correct. Why are you so jealous of Jackie Bird?
It's the makeup, like I mentioned earlier.
I'm afraid it's actually her lovely, lovely hair. What colour of dress was Michelle McManus wearing in episode 445?
Green. It was definitely green.
Yes. In episode 306, who had your colleague Joanne just been to see in concert?
Oh, it was... Please, sir. It's coming, sir. It's nearly there, sir. It was...
I think that's a gold star.
Michael Jackson.
No, it wasn't. It was Stevie Wonder, ironically. What did you call... Oh, that was... around all about you and you still get some wrong. Newsflash for Mackay. Duh. And last, but never least, Ellis. Come on, give. What rubbish is rolling around that noodle of yours?
Adamant, sir.
You have 1 minute starting now. How many legs does an ant have?
6.
Correct. How many legs does Adamant have?
2.
6. He's Adamant. What is Adamant's real name?
Stuart Leslie Goddard.
Correct. The first band he joined as bass player was Bazooka Joe. Which famous punk band played their first ever gig as support act for them?
The Sex Pistols.
Correct. In 2002, Adamant was arrested after brandishing a pistol and throwing what through a window?
A car... alternator.
Very good. How tall is Adamant?
5'8".
7 millimetres. He's an ant. Where does Adamant live?
In an anthill.
Yes!
Round 6. General knowledge.
Yes, it's the final round. So, like the last dance at the school disco, it's your final chance to score. Pucker up, class. It's another quick-fire round, so buzz in if you know the answer, and even if you don't know, I strongly suggest some of you to use the contemporary vernacular. Just go for it, man! Oh, thank you. Who is the patron saint of Wales?
Mackenzie Ellis.
St David.
Correct. Which Scottish monarch returned to Scotland in 1561?
Rafferty.
Charles Stewart.
Mackenzie Ellis.
Mary Queen of Scots.
Correct. Which country hosted the first Football World Cup?
Mearns.
Uruguay.
Bonus point, what year?
1930.
Oh, gold star. What is the Earth's biggest ocean?
Mearns.
Pacific Ocean.
Correct. What is an adjective?
Mackay.
Descriptive word.
Very good. Which artists' work include At the Moulin Rouge and La Toilette?
Mackenzie Ellis.
Toulouse-Lautrec.
Correct. In which year were the famous Berlin Olympic Games held that saw GCO in...
Mearns.
1936.
Very good. Well, there's the final bell, so...
Report cards.
Oh, dear.
Ms Morrison, would you please pull out your blackboard and let's take a gawk at the chalk?
Starting with Mearns, you're sitting at 23 points. You managed to accrue 1 gold star, well done, but you also managed to get yourself 1 detention, you naughty boy, which means you still have 23 points. Well done. And Barbara, 8 points in total.
Yay!
And you also got a gold star. Well done, young lady. Which gives you a final score of 9 points. Hello. Mackay. Well, there, started off terribly strongly and got himself 18 points. 1 gold star, 3 detentions. Which brings you down to 16, I'm afraid, but still showing well. Mackenzie Ellis.
Yes.
Yeah. Magnificent singing. One day you'll learn the lyrics, it'll be lovely. And you actually came in with 14 points. Very well done. 2 gold stars and 2 well-deserved detentions in my book, young lady, which brought you out again totally equally at 14 points. Well done.
So, according to those pinpoint calculations, that means this week's SWAT is Mearns! I'm afraid that this week's dunce is Rafferty. That's the spirit, audience.
I meant it.
So, a double helping of ice cream for our SWAT and double PE for our dunce. Fall to the ground and give me 20, Rafferty. Just seriously, stay there. Well,
20 what?
I'm sure Mackay can show you.
Well, while our dunce is pumping away, all that remains to be said is a big thanks to all the students who played SWOTS today. Raymond Mearns, Barbara Rafferty, John Mackay and Elaine Mackenzie Ellis. My thanks also to our ravishing school secretary, the very lovely Miss Susan Morrison. My name's Miles Jupp, but you can call me Sir. Class dismissed.
SWOTS was presented by Miles Jupp and Susan Morrison. Taking part today, Raymond Mearns, Barbara Rafferty, Elaine Mackenzie-Ellis and John Mackay. It was written by Colin McQuaid and Michael Beck. SWOTS was developed, written and produced by Margaret Ann Doherty.
That was SWOTS, Episode 1, Season 1. Now, here we go with some more space. Here's Star Terk, Season 1, Episode 1 as well. Boy, we're going to have a lot of space. Right here on Airchecks.
This is Radio 4. It's just coming up to 11:30. And now, if you have ears to hear, and if you haven't, we really are opening up new frontiers in the art of radio, then hear this, the first of a brand new series, Star Terk II.
Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Starship Enterprise. Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life and new civilizations, to wear short sweatshirts that go baggy at the waist, and to boldly go where no man has gone before. Janet Street Porter's bedroom. Captain's log.
Yes?
Good morning, Captain. Tell me, how is your lovely wife, Mrs. Log?
She's much better, thank you.
Excellent. Carry on, Captain's log. Stardate 3748. Captain James T. Crick, Commander, USS Enterprise. No, that is not a mistake. I did indeed say Captain Crick, for my surname has been pronounced Crick for the past 3 weeks. In fact, ever since the Enterprise landed on the planet Krull, a planet whose strange atmosphere contaminates anyone who sets foot there, causing them to mispronounce all names with the letter K in them. Hence my name, Captain Crick. The name of our mission, Star Terk. And the name of my Vulcan colleague and chief officer, Mr. Pox. However, this is a condition which I hope will soon be rectified. Indeed, Mr. Pox has one of our best lab technicians working on an antidote at this very moment. Isn't that correct, Pox?
Knickers.
I beg your pardon?
Knickers, Captain Crick.
My dear Pox, using such language is hardly likely.
That is the name of the laboratory technician who is working on an antidote. His name is spelled Kersnick. But as I, like you, was contaminated on the planet Krull, when I try to say his name, it comes out as Knickers.
Ah. And who in his search for an antidote is assisting Knickers?
Knackers.
Does that mean he spells his name Kersnack?
No, it means I'm getting fed up with your banal questions. And surely we have more important things to discuss.
Excuse me, one moment, please. The phone.
Stop, Jim. My Vulcan intuition tells me it would be an act of great foolishness to answer that call.
Why?
We haven't got a telephone.
But surely, Pox, is that not a telephone we can hear ringing even as we speak?
It would appear so. Yet because I know for a fact that we do not have a telephone, my logical mind tells me that such an occurrence is completely illogical. Yet if I can hear a telephone ringing, logic tells me that we must have a telephone. But if so, how is that logically possible?
Pox?
Yes?
Don't be such a prat. For you see, my dear Pox, what your logical mind has failed to account for is the illogical logicality of the logistics of the logical logic.
Which is?
That in space anything is possible, which I would have thought that you, as a member of the 5 Million Miles High Club, would have appreciated. And now, with your permission, I will answer the phone. Yes, who is this?
Oh, you've decided to answer at last, have you? About time, too. I'm calling about that slanderous statement you made earlier about Janet Street Porter.
Pardon?
You heard what what you said about Janet Street Porter's bedroom and no man ever having been there before.
What is it, Jim?
It appears to be someone speaking some primitive sort of English.
Primitive sort of, I'll give you primitive, you wooden American bimbo, you. Now listen, about what you said about Janet Street Porter.
Janet Street Porter.
Yes, and I...
Tell me, are you the Janet Street Porter in question?
No, but I do look a bit like her, even though I don't sound anything at all like her.
You don't sound anything like her.
No, when Janet Street Porter talks, you can hardly understand what she says.
I'm sorry, what was that you said?
I said, look, the point is you've no right to make fun of me, her. You've no right to make fun of her just because of the way she looks. I mean, she can't help the way she looks, can she?
No, but she could stay in.
How dare you? Well, you're not getting away with this. I'll show you. I'm going to switch you over. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch over to another channel.
Please, there's no need for that. I'm sure we could talk, and if we could...
Even as I speak to you tonight from the BBC Television Theatre here in London, Shepherd's Bush,
Oh, push off, Wogan. What's on ITV?
Therefore, I would like him to leave the hotel, Mrs. Greenbaum.
Oh, that's more like it. Hotel, one of my favourite programmes, this.
Did you hear what I just said, Mrs. Greenbaum?
Yes, I heard you, Mr. Blomfeld, but I can't say I understand you. You say you want Lincoln and me to leave your hotel.
Not you, Mrs. Greenbaum, just your husband.
But why, Mr. Blomfeld? Why on earth do you want Lincoln to leave your hotel?
Because he is dead, Mrs. Greenbaum.
No, Lincoln isn't dead, Mr. Blomfeld.
Then why is he in a coffin?
He is resting in peace.
Mrs. Greenbaum, I would hardly call being dragged down 4 flights of stairs and into the dining room 3 times a day resting in peace.
Now, I'm really glad you brought up the subject of the dining room, Mr. Blomfeld, because I was wondering if maybe I was due for a small rebate on account of Lincoln. I mean, he just isn't eating any food at all.
Nobody is eating any food at all, Mrs. Greenbaum. In fact, nobody but you and your dead husband's coffin has been near the dining room since the day you arrived here.
You know, there is the most peculiar smell in your dining room, Mr. Blomfeld. Maybe that's the reason people aren't eating. Maybe if you was to find out where the smell is coming from.
The smell is coming from your husband's coffin, Mrs. Greenbaum.
From Lincoln's coffin? No, I just can't believe that, Mr. Blomfeld. That just can't be. Because Mr. Otis Bride of the Paradise Funeral Parlor did a real fine job on Lincoln. A real fine job. I mean, Lincoln smelled just beautiful. Sort of lavendery.
When he died in 1982, maybe. And I am going to have to insist that you remove him from the hotel premises forthwith.
Well, I don't really know about that, Mr. Blomfeld. Now, where did I see where it says a lady can't bring her dead husband to your hotel?
Well, will you at least keep him out of the swimming pool? Well...
But Lincoln enjoys his daily float, Mr. Blomfeld. Oh, that reminds me, I'd like you to have a word with that Mrs. Van Deerden about her 2 small boys. They keep using Lincoln's coffin to dive off of. And, well, it just isn't very dignified, is it?
It is hardly dignified him being in the swimming pool in the first place, is it? Now, if you would just do as I say...
Oh, blast. Someone at the front door, just when it was getting interesting.
Good evening, madam. I'm in the neighbourhood.
If you're selling something, you can clear off. I'll never buy at the front because of my religion.
What religion is that?
Nomadic Buddhist.
Nomadic Buddhist.
Yeah, a small religious sect who live in the desert in tents.
And they never buy at the front door?
Well, if they live in tents, they haven't got no front door.
But then they're not buying at their front doors. It's not because of their religion, is it? They're not buying at their front doors because they don't have front doors to buy at.
So?
Well, you do have a front door. Therefore, there is no reason why you should not buy at your front door.
All right, what are you selling?
Front doors.
I've already got a front door, haven't I?
I also sell encyclopedic dictionaries.
What do I want with a dictionary? I can't say proper words what I already know, can I? Goodbye.
Que sera, sera. Well, there's always next door. Yes? Good day, sir. I represent Cheney's new single-volume encyclopedic dictionary and the front door...
I'll take one.
What?
I'll take an encyclopedic dictionary.
No, you're wrong there.
What?
Well, no, here, look, see, page 546. How to sell. First, the salesman must make the customer desire the product. Well, I haven't done that yet, have I?
Oh, no, I'm sorry, I didn't realise.
And why didn't you realise? Because you don't own a copy of Cheney's new single-volume encyclopedic dictionary and haven't read the section on how to sell. I mean, how can you afford to be without this essential reference book, compiled by no less than 237 experts, all world-renowned in their own field, which comes to you tastefully bound in Moroccan Skyvertex, each of its 3,652 pages crammed full of facts and figures on any subject you care to name?
I'll take one.
No, you won't.
No?
You will now say one of three things, and I quote, A, I don't want your rotten encyclopedia. B, I'd like time to think it over. Or C, I can't afford it. Now, which one are you, A, B, or C?
C.
I can't afford it. Yes, well, most people say that. That is, until I point out to them that the cost of this magnificent treasure of knowledge works out at less than the price of a packet of cigarettes a day. Unbelievable, but true. Yes, all you need do is give up smoking and this truly beautiful volume can be yours.
I will take one.
Not yet. Because now you say either A, I don't smoke, or B, that's all very well, but I've tried to give up smoking and I can't. Well?
That's all very well, but I've tried to give up smoking and I can't.
Page 832. How to give up smoking.
I'll take one.
No, you will not.
Why not?
Because I've only got one bloody copy of it, haven't I?
Oh, suit yourself then.
Oh, excuse me, sir.
Yes?
I'm with the Television Audience Research. Would you mind answering a few questions?
Oh, go on then.
Good. Now, did you watch any television last Tuesday evening?
Last Tuesday evening? Let's see, wasn't that the night I went to pictures? Yes, I think that was the night I went to see that new anti-war film.
Oh, which one's that?
Bomb Reagan. You ought to see it. It's very good. It starts off with this scene between an army colonel and a potential recruit, and the colonel says to the recruit, "So, you'd like to join the army, would you, Mr. Fairbrother?"
Oh, yes, sir. Very much, sir.
Why?
Well, sir, I have a degree in electronic engineering, which I feel will be put to very good use in the technological army. That is the modern army of today.
I see. Any other reason?
Oh, yes, sir. The outdoor life appeals to me, as does the prospect of the fellowship and camaraderie of my fellow soldiers. And I would also enjoy the chance to travel, and the chance to take part in many sports that being in the army will give me the opportunity to do.
Yes. You see, you appear to have the wrong idea about the purpose of the army, Mr. Fairbrother.
Right, yes, sir.
You see, our main function is to kill people.
Kill people, sir?
Yes. Tell me, what do you like at killing people?
I'm not quite sure what you mean, sir.
Killing people, shooting them, cutting their throats, dropping bombs on them, napalming them, squashing them with tacks, obliterating them from the face of the earth, exterminating them. Killing people. What do you like at killing people?
Well, I don't know, sir. I mean, I've never had to kill anybody.
Yes, aren't too sure, are we, Mr. Fairbrother? No matter, we'll soon find out. Join me over at the window, would you? Now, take this grenade. Take it, man!
Sir!
Good. Now, you see that sentry over there by the window?
Yes, sir?
I want you to throw the grenade at him.
At the sentry, sir?
Blow him into a billion pieces.
But, he's a British soldier, sir.
Yes?
I mean, the poor man's just standing there.
Well, they also serve who only stand and wait, Mr. Fairbrother. And in his case, his waiting days are over. You think of this as his chance of glory. So come on, show me what you're made of by showing me what he's made of. Which... That was rather good, that, wasn't it? Now, come on, then.
Oh, sir, I must protest.
Throw the grenade, man.
Sir.
Got the bugger. Well, congratulations, Mr. Fairbrother. Well done.
The army will accept me then, sir?
Yes, you're just the sort of chap we're looking for here at HQ NATO Peacekeeping Force. Yes, like I said, it was one of the best war films I've ever seen. It was a bit like Rambo, but with acting. The next scene was good and all. There's this great big...
Yes, I'm sure it was. But you said you wouldn't mind answering a few questions about your TV viewing.
Oh, no, sorry, yeah, right.
Now,
far away, then.
Yes, on Wednesday there was a new situation comedy series called The Family of Man. Did you by any chance see it?
Family of Man?
Yes, that's spelled M-A-N-N, man. A family of man. It's a play on words.
Oh.
It was all about a 45-ish sensible wife, her husband who on the face of it hasn't got the brains to tie his own shoelaces, but who nevertheless keeps coming out with witty lines, and their scatty teenage daughter with a nice bottom who keeps coming through doors and grinning like a loony.
Oh, yeah, I think I did. Didn't the wife come home unexpectedly, see her husband hiding a pair of lace panties which he'd secretly bought for her birthday present, and mistakenly think he was having an affair with someone else?
No, that was Family Matters. All about the Matters family, with the 45-ish sensible wife, her husband, who on the face of it hasn't got the brains to tie his own shoelaces, but nevertheless keeps coming out with witty lines, and their two scatty teenage daughters with nice bottoms who keep coming through doors and grinning like loonies. No, Family of Man was about the husband seeing his wife knitting a pair of baby's booties for a friend, mistakenly thinking she was going to have a baby.
And going out to buy her a big bunch of red roses. Yes, I saw that.
No, that wasn't Family of Man. That was Fool of the Family. It's all about the family, with the 45-ish sensible wife, the husband, on the face of it hasn't got the brains to tie his own shoelaces, but who nevertheless keeps going out with witty lines. Their two scatty teenage daughters with a nice bottom who keep coming through doors and grinning like loonies. The St. Bernard dog, which occasionally pees on the carpet and gets an unrehearsed laugh. Oh, and the wife's brother, who's so thick that if he fell into a barrel of tits, he'd get out sucking his thumb. That, you see, was Fool of the Family. No, you see, in The Family of Man, the husband, after mistakenly thinking that his wife is going to have a baby, goes out to celebrate, comes home after having a few drinks too many, mistakenly goes into the house next door, and gets into bed with his neighbour's wife with hilarious results.
Oh, yeah, of course, now I remember.
So you saw it then?
Yeah.
Right load of crap, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Keep down, Constable Hoggins. Those bank robbers may be armed. Sir. Hand me that load hailer.
We present the 17th minute of the show. Each week at this time, we will be devoting the 17th minute of the show to something unique in radio broadcasting. And in our first show, we feature the debut of that up-and-coming young soul singer, a girl who is half Greek and half black American, Miss Donna Kebab. Miss Kebab was... I'm sorry, that's next week. Tonight we feature Mr. Arthur Scargill reading the fairy story Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Mr. Scargill.
Thank you. Once upon a time, there were three National Union of Honey Workers bears. Father socially deprived bear, mother socially deprived bear, and baby socially deprived bear. And they all lived together in a criminally high-rented, rate-capped, damp, rat-infested, totally inadequate council house in the woods. One day, they all went off to picket at their honey pit. As after 7 years of Tory misrule, they were grossly underpaid and had no alternative but to withdraw their labour and take strike action. When a girl by the name of Goldilocks, who was on her way through the woods, noticed the house of the Three Bears and went into it. She didn't know it was wrong to go into somebody else's house without their permission, because her father was a policeman and she'd seen him do it. On the table were 3 bowls of porridge. Now, in the past, the Three Bears have been able to afford a substantial meal of meat stew. But under the yoke of Thatcherism, and I want to make myself very clear on this point, they were damn lucky to be able to afford porridge. Goldilocks tried the porridge of Father Socially Deprived Bear, but that was too hot. Then she tried the porridge of Mother Socially Deprived Bear, but that was too cold. Then she tried the porridge of baby socially deprived bear, and that was just right. So she ate it all up. And then, not content with that, and with an underhanded deviousness and downright skullduggery that would have done credit to Thatcher herself, she mixed together the bowls of too hot and too cold porridge and ate them as well. And then the wolf came in, and Goldilocks said, "Oh, Grandma, what a big mouth you've got." And the wolf said, "Yes, I borrowed it from Neil Kinnock." And Goldilocks said to the wolf...
Right, that's enough, Mr. Scott.
No, let me finish. I've had the courtesy to come here. Anyway, I haven't read the best bit yet, where the wolf escapes in a steamroller and flattens the complete Tory front bench, and finally frees the country from the Thatcherite fascist regime.
Yes, I'm sorry, but you've had well over your minute.
No,
And now it's back to the action.
Hoggins, did you hear me? I said, hand over that loud hailer.
Oh, I'm sorry, sir. I'll say yes. No. Do you reckon you'll be able to talk the robbers into freeing the hostages, sir?
Just leave it to me, Hoggins. Here we go.
Attention! Can you hear me? This is Inspector Froggett of the police. What are your demands?
I can hear you. One moment.
Quick, Benny, where's that note with our demands written on it?
Here you are.
Here are our demands. We want 2 dozen beef burgers, 2 dozen barbecue.
It's a shopping list. You give me a grocery list.
Oh, yeah, sorry, it must be in my other pocket.
Oh, give it me. I ain't got all day.
Hey, I don't seem to have it.
Oh, well, that's great, isn't it, eh? I mean, how am I supposed to give the police our demands if I don't know what our demands are?
Well, hey, how about if we demanded a bottle of tomato ketchup?
What?
Well, we've already asked for hamburgers and bomb cakes. I like tomato ketchup on my hamburgers, you know.
Look, you twannock! We've got to get out of here!
Now, can't you remember what our demands are? I mean, you was the one wrote them down. Well, wouldn't it something to do with a car?
Yeah, a car. A car that takes to the airport.
Right.
Right.
Here are our demands. We want a car to take us to the airport.
Hey, just a minute.
What?
We're already at the airport.
What?
Well, we robbed the airport bank safe. We're already at the airport.
Oh, right.
Here are our demands. We want a car to take us away from the airport.
No.
What?
No, we don't want to be taken away from the airport. We want to be at the airport, don't we? I mean, our demands are for an aeroplane so we can fly off and escape with the money.
Well, your demand might be for an aeroplane. My demand certainly isn't.
Well, why isn't it?
Because I get airsick. Whenever I go on an aeroplane, I'll get violently airsick, so that's out. Our demand is for a boat. A car that takes us to the docks and a boat.
Here are our demands. We want...
Hey! I'll get seasick on a boat.
What?
Well, boats make me seasick. There's no way you're getting me on a boat.
Well, there's no way you're getting me on an aeroplane.
Well, there's no way you're getting me on a boat.
Here are our demands. 2 dozen beef burgers, 2 dozen farm cakes, a bottle of tomato sauce, 2 coffees.
Looks as though they intend digging in, Hoggins. Right, radio their demands into HQ, and, make it an extra beef burger, will you? I'm feeling a bit peckish myself.
Roger. Romeo Bravo Tango to HQ. Will you... Oh, blast.
What's the matter?
Our radio's packed in, sir.
Use that phone box there. Go on, jump to it, man.
Stop.
To a disco. Yeah, I went to the American I met in. Here, do you mind, Copper? I haven't finished yet.
Sorry, miss, this is an emergency.
Well, it'll just have to wait, won't it? So, hop it. Hello, Shell. Sorry about that. It was the fuzz. Now, where was I? Oh, yeah. I was telling you about that American I went out with last night. Probe. No, that was his name. Probe. He said he was christened that because his father was an astronaut. They'd called him the right name as well, I can tell you. He was trying to probe me all over the place. He said, I'll pretend I'm an astronaut like my dad, and you pretend you're Venus and I have to land on you. Saucy devil. No, he doesn't want to be a real astronaut. He said he was happy in property. He said back in Florida, he just bought this big condominium. This big condominium. 10 stories high and 100 yards long. I said, I bet you can't half get a lot of condoms in that. No. Apparently it doesn't mean that. No. According to Probe, a condominium is what people live in America. Yeah, Imagine that. Living in a gigantic 100-yard-long piece of rubber. Oh, just a minute, Shell. Don't go away. Constable, have you got a 10p piece?
Only one, and I need that for urgent police business. Now, if you've quite finished, I'll thank you to vacate that telephone kiosk.
Pig!
Now, there's no need for that sort of talk.
Why didn't you get out of the way? I told you there was a pig coming.
I thought you meant that...
Have either of you seen anything of a runaway pig?
Yes, it just knocked me over. And then it proceeded up the high street in a northerly...
Oh, God! It's run slap into that bus!
In a northerly, southerly, easterly and westerly...
Look, Hoggins, will you cut out the funnies, please, and make that phone call?
Oh, right, yes, sir. Doing it now, sir. Right, sir. Yes, right now, sir.
Hello? Is that the police headquarters?
No, this is the Happy Holidays Travel Agency.
I'm sorry, sir. I must have dialed the wrong number.
Oh, that's perfectly all right. I'm sorry about that. Now then, this holiday you'd like to book, when were you thinking of going?
The first week in August.
Yes, and where were you thinking of going to?
France. What's the matter?
Well, it is up to you, of course, sir. It is your money, but France in August? I mean, that's the month all the French people take their holidays. You see, you'd never get near the beach.
Oh, yes, I hadn't thought of that. Right, I'll go somewhere else then. Actually, I've always fancied Spain. You wouldn't advise Spain either?
Mosquitoes, sir. Oh. Mozzies as big as aeroplanes. Yeah, you get bitten to death.
Yes, I had heard you can get mosquitoes in Spain, now you come to mention it. Well, that settles it then. I'll go to Italy. What's wrong with Italy?
And nothing, sir, if you don't mind spending your entire holiday sat on the lavatory. I'll never forget the holiday I had in Naples. See Naples and die. See Naples and diarrhea, more like.
I see. How about Bulgaria? No.
Just the opposite to Italy, sir. Constipation. When I went there, I was bunged up the entire fortnight.
Yes, well, I don't want that, do I? I suppose I could try Greece.
Well, I tried everything, sir. Syrup of figs. Cinepods.
No, I'm sorry. No, I mean for a holiday, you know. The country, Greece.
Oh, yes.
What's it like, Greece? You wouldn't recommend Greece either?
No, they're far too hot in August, sir.
Turkey. Oh, very well. In that case, I'll go to... I haven't said anything yet.
No, but you were going to say Portugal, weren't you, sir?
No.
Oh.
I was going to say Austria. Is there any country at all you would recommend?
Well, there is Yugoslavia, sir.
Well, what's it like?
Magnificent, sir. Yes. Beautiful country, Yugoslavia. Breathtaking mountain ranges, picturesque countryside, lovely people, nice climate, cheap wine, good exchange rate. Perfect, yes. Oh, yes, if I had to pick one country in the whole world in which to spend a holiday, I would pick Yugoslavia.
You seem really taken with it.
I am, sir, I am. Yugoslavia is really fantastic.
Right then, I'll go to Yugoslavia.
Very good, sir. And where in Yugoslavia would you like to go?
Dubrovnik. Sarajevo. Look, I'm not going through all that again. Just book me into an hotel in Casablanca.
Oh, Casablanca, no, that is a place I can recommend, sir.
Oh, you've been there, have you?
No, not exactly, but my partner has, haven't you, Rick?
Casablanca? You betcha I've been there. It was in Casablanca that I first heard the song. You remember the song, Sam? Why don't you play it again?
What?
You heard me. Play it again, Sam.
Yes, sure. Sure thing, Rick.
Of all the joints in the world, I had to end up in this one. I could think of better ways of earning a buck than running a travel agency, and that's a fact.
You have been listening to Star Terk II, starring Christopher Godwin, Geoffrey Holland, Susie Blake, and Fred Harris.
I mean, here I am selling airline tickets for Pete's sake, and the only ticket I'm interested in handing out is a one-way ticket to oblivion, courtesy of a 45. That's why I'm about to introduce a brand new ticket service. You've heard of a bucket flight? I'm introducing Kick the Bucket Flight.
The show was written by Terry Ravenscroft.
So if you want to get rid of some cheap hoodlum, just book him in on one of old Rick's kick-the-bucket flights. For an extra sawbuck, I'll even let you choose the way you want the patsy to croak. By a bullet in the head, a knife in the gut, or an overdose of the airline food.
But produced by Martin Fisher.
Here's looking at you, Martin.
Captain Crick and his motley crew will be back at...
Well, that's it for the last hour of Airchecks. I'm your host, Ty Rose Now. We'll have more tomorrow with 3 more hours of Airchecks. And see you on the same time on the same channel. Goodbye.